Now I'm Father Robert from Gadget at the TechStop.net, the place where it's always time to get your geek on. We're here at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada for the setup of Interop 2012. We're here setting up the largest and most advanced temporary network in the world, and I have the pleasure of standing next to Ken Boccino from F5.
Pleasure.
Now F5 has been in Interop before. You were showing us off the good stuff last year, but this year you're in the firewalls, and you wanted to explain a distinction to our audience. What is it?
Yes, so there's a pretty significant difference between an enterprise level firewall that's protecting our user base or our corporate networks and the data center firewall, which is basically the data center firewall is really there to provide DDoS protection and application protocol security and advanced algorithmic protections against the content that we're providing to our outside external user base. So if you're a web hosting company, your content that you're hosting out there, you want to protect against DDoS on the web and other actual attacks coming inbound. And that's a pretty different significance between a corporate level firewall. And we typically see that people are using and deploying enterprise corporate firewalls in front of our data center hosting environments.
And it sounds like that's out of ignorance. People just don't understand that, look, a firewall that's perfectly good to protect users essentially from themselves just doesn't cut it when you start talking about protecting a data center, about your cluster, about your servers from the outside world. Now, what kind of trends have you seen as you look at data center protection?
So we're actually starting to see that the enterprise level firewalls aren't really scaling well against a data center environment, especially when it comes to some of the DDoSes that are out there, some of the application attacks that are out there, where a lot of larger and enterprise customers that do content hosting out on the web are starting to remove their actual enterprise firewalls from their hosting environment, where they're now coming to the front side of a load balancer, in most cases F5 load balancers. And what we're starting to see happen is we're unifying our security model out on the edge, where you once had a firewall that sat in front of a load balancing infrastructure that sat in front of your web infrastructure. We're now collapsing that down to an F5 data center firewall, which is a perfect spot to do it, because if you think about a lot of that traffic coming in is all SSL based for a lot of these applications, and we get the full picture on the actual termination device, which is the application delivery device that's load balancing to your web infrastructure anyways. And we're able to collapse that down into one full data center firewall model where we leverage ASM, which is an application firewall on the F5 appliance, that will go and look at negative and positive security models to ensure that the application isn't being attacked at a layer 7 level. We then look at the protocol, and we do DDoS and other protocol-based protections like slow LoRa's and SSL type attacks at the protocol level on the same device. And that scales much nicer. So we can get in upwards of 1 million connections per second on some of our 11,000 series boxes, and even higher on other boxes and other platforms, where we can go way beyond what an enterprise firewall can actually perform at. And we can handle that DDoS attack. We can handle those advanced layer 7 type attacks all in one appliance without having to go through multiple different vendors and have to take a look at the same actual data stream. So you only have to look at the packet once. You don't have to keep on going through multiple hops.
Good stuff, and it does protect Interop. So, of course, if people want to see it in action, the best place to come would be to Interop, to booth 2501, and actually look at the beautiful gear with the big red ball. You can't miss it. Or to stop by your booth and ask a sales engineer, ask a technical engineer exactly how it works and what it can do for them. But if they can't make it to the show, where should they go to find out more about your products?
Definitely come to us on f5.com, devcentral.f5.com, and reach out to your F5 reps.
Ken, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thanks for being part of the Interop. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being on camera. And you stay tuned, because we've got more from Interop 2012.